What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 24, my favorite number of 4Life Trading Cards video and podcast series. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I wanted to start off by saying thank you guys for all the support on the Discord that we dropped. It's been a crazy last couple of days. We already gained, I think we're over 110 members on the Discord. If you don't know about it, this Discord server is completely free. It's basically a communication network for all sports and trading cards, whether you've just started getting into trading cards and trying to flip some cards, or whether you've been in the hobby for a long time. It's gonna come. It's great value for any one of those. Basically, we have a bunch of sections on the Discord, whether you're into basketball cards or soccer cards or football cards, or you're looking to sell or trade some of your cards. There's a section for all of that. And again, we've already hit over 100 people in the Discord. I did not think that was going to happen, but it did, and I'm super excited. It's just creating a bunch of value for people. I mean, what else could I say? Questions are being answered about PSA subs, BGS subs, what cards do you think are value, what cards have value in, all that sort of stuff, what guys people are picking up and why. I mean, just all around some great stuff. So if you want to join the Discord, I'll put the link below. Again, it's completely free. I mean, that's the beauty of it too. Anybody can join. It's not a limited number of people. I want to create as much value as possible with this Discord. So there's everything's free. So I mean, it's for you guys. That's what it's for. So definitely, if you haven't joined the Discord, get on that. Again, we're already at like 110 members. People are in it all the time. So it's been a super exciting start to 2020 with that Discord channel. And again, just thank you guys so much for all the positive input and feedback. I really, really appreciate it. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was the soccer card market. We've seen over the last 2 weeks, guys, the card market has gone nuts, especially in reference to a guy I've been talking about since probably day one, Kylian Mbappe. I've been talking about this man for so long that if you have been listening to me from day one and you didn't get in and buy a couple, whether it was raws or graded cards of him, of his World Cup card, man, I feel sorry because I've been preaching to the choir about Kylian Mbappe. Guys, I was telling people to pick up his World Cup 2018 card for $4 to $5 on eBay just a couple months ago. These same exact cards are now selling for like 20 bucks. The silvers I was telling people to pick up for anywhere from 15 to 20. Those are selling for $100 now on eBay. I mean, his graded stuff we're selling, his base graded stuff we're selling for like 20 bucks. Now they're selling for like 50, 60. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. I did buy 6. I'll show you, just to give you an example of how big this market is growing. I bought in October, there's a guy selling a bunch of Kylian Mbappe Mojos. Hopefully I'm saying it right. People say Mojo, people say Mojo, I don't know. But I bought 7 of these PSA 10s for, I think it was like $260. It was $40 a pop. And literally yesterday, one of these sold for $350. Just one. And I bought 7 or 6. It was $240 for 6, but I actually have 7. I bought another one for 40 bucks. So anyways, I have 7 of them. And my cost was $40 for each one. And yesterday, it sold for $350 for one. So I'm super excited about that. I mean, my return on investment on that is extraordinary. I've always thought about soccer as like a long-term investment. Just because if we think about it, the World Cup coming up, and then there's actually another World Cup in 2026, which is going to be in the US. And then I think that's going to be a really, really, really great time for soccer sports cards, because as I've talked about, I believe soccer is huge just because it's the most global sport in the world. And right now, and when I was talking about it before, I mean, the soccer market for cards just was fairly undervalued. It was really undervalued. So I think when also the World Cup comes to the US, I think that's when a lot of collectors will start to buy up tons of these cards, and kids and just people in general will get more attracted to soccer cards. But we've already seen it happen, so I'm basically tripling down on what I've been saying before. I mean, we've seen the market has shifted already. I did not think it was going to come this fast, but if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I've been talking about soccer cards and specifically Kylian Mbappe a lot. So I have a bunch of his cards, a bunch of his graded cards. I think I have a little bit right here. I can show you guys. These are all 10s. And then I have a couple silvers in grading right now. I have a couple base, and I still have a bunch of raws to send in of his. So fairly excited for to basically watch the market for the next couple weeks and see where it goes. But if you guys, are kind of still a little bit confused about the soccer market, did write an article on it a week ago. I'll put the link in my bio as well, or below in the description, so you guys can read it as well. It's basically going over how undervalued the soccer market is, and I specifically talk about the Messi rookie cards, and I compare it to another sport, and the guy that's comparable to him in LeBron James. So definitely a great article to read. And then let's shift over to the basketball market. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went off, had a 20-point, 20 rebound, and 10 assists, triple-double around there. I guess he's the youngest guy to do a 20-point, 20 rebound game. That was crazy. I was really fortunate where I got a lot of my Shais back from PSA right when he got hot. So I have started to sell, those cards on there on eBay. I think I sold, before he kind of took off the last couple of days, his base PSA 10s, I think we're selling around like 30, 40. Now they're selling for like 60. His red, white, and blues are selling for like 65. So interesting time for Shai as well. I've been talking about Shai for a while now, since the summer too. His base cards were around $1 to $2. Now they're around $6 to $7. So it's just this time of the year where players are starting to show what they're capable of, and the market and people are more just reacting to each game than over the summer, where you could kind of look at the players and what team they're on and kind of predict what they're going to be able to do in the year and go in on those players, because especially over the summer, in reference to basketball, those cards are cheaper, just because there's not a lot of focus on particular sports in the off season. Just like baseball right now, it's the off season, so cards are cheaper. So people who are into baseball cards are picking up certain guys that they think are going to have great years. So when I talk about sports cards, and I get a lot of DMs about this, like, who do you think is gonna, who are you buying? Who's the quick flip? You have to break it down like this. You're just predicting. As much as you're predicting the player and how he's gonna, and what his production will be like in the future, you're also predicting what people will buy in the future. So like LeBron James rookie cards, I've been talking about that for a while. Why have I been talking about it so much? Because we know the Lakers are getting the playoff seed. We know the Lakers are going to go on a deep playoff run. We know all the attention is going to be on LeBron James, and that's when people will start to buy his rookie cards, because the attention is there. So we're just chasing attention, really. If you break it down to it at its core, like same exact thing as Luka Doncic. When I was buying, too many Luka Doncic cards over the summer. I knew his talent. I knew what he was capable of. Yes, I know basketball a little bit where I can tell, but also I knew that the attention would be on a guy who's a European dude, who's a EuroLeague MVP, who's white, which actually, it's funny to think about, guys like, Luka Doncic, just because they're white and they can ball, for some reason that attracts more people. Kind of weird to think about, but it is what it is. Even though Luka Doncic is a generational talent, but it's kind of interesting to think about that too. Um, but we can just see the attention shift. He has all of Europe behind him. He has not just his country of Slovenia, he has all of Europe. So that's where, the NBA is taking right now a guy like that and kind of framing him up to be their man from years to come. Even though Giannis is kind of their man right now, but I think Luka will be taking over. And I want to talk about Luka and Trey's cards, where I think they will go. I think during All-Star Weekend, we're going to see quite a bit of growth in their cards. The reason is just because that whole attention thing, the attention is going to be on all those All-Star players, and 2 first-time All-Stars at 20 and 21. Man, it's going to be crazy. I think that's when people, more people will just come in and start trying to buy up their cards. So I think and anybody who asks me what's a good investment right now, I always say Trae Young, because his prices are at like what, $75, $80. I think that's a steal for the next excuse me, the next All-Star starter in the East. And I've talked about that multiple times. So he's a guy definitely pick up on, and I think you can make a quick flip there when he gets into All-Star Weekend. So if you buy now, I think you're going to have a nice little flip when All-Star Weekend comes. Another guy where we have to just wait a tad bit longer for his debut, Zion Williamson. Again, another guy where you could have bought his card for like $50, $40 a couple weeks ago. Even up to the last couple days, you could have bought it for $50. I think a couple people told me tonight his card sold, his base Prism just raw sold for like $100, which is crazy. But if you want to make like and I've talked about this before, if you bought it at $50, before his first game, you can flip that thing for a good amount. Now it's going to be a little bit riskier if you wait and watch him play, because if he has a really good game, right, his prices will even shoot up even more. But if he doesn't play well, people will start dumping his cards. But that's not always bad to think about, because when people dump players' cards, if you really believe in that player, that's going to be the time to buy. That's going to be the time to double down. When Trae last year wasn't playing so well, people who really, really believed in Trae were going and buying up his raws for like $3 a pop. And now his raws are like, what, 12 to 15? And if you graded those things and let's say like 80% got PSA 10s, man, you made a good amount of money, right? So, I mean, if you're buying right now, I think that's tough because, again, one sold for $100. I don't know if their price is still at that, but $100 for just a base raw is ridiculous. I think if you're the hype is just so big around him, all right? It's crazy that you can make a flip off the hype, but I wouldn't bet on the hype during the game because, again, attention shifts real quick. And that's why I bring up Ja Morant as well. I think Ja Morant is a stud. I think he's going to be a multiple-time All-Star. But I also think his prices are just too high right now. I mean, it's basically double the price, his raws of Trae's. I mean, Ja Morant's base Prism raws are going for like $30, which is it's just too high right now. People always get hype on guys who are going to be rookies of the year, but I just don't think at that price point it makes sense. I think you can wait, especially when Zion comes back, the attention is going to come off of Ja. And notice that I'm talking about attention a lot. It's all attention, where attention goes. So if you can, and it's not too hard to figure out once you kind of get it going. If you can kind of understand, okay, why certain players are hot because of XYZ. Oh, this player's coming up. Okay, I can go buy him before everybody starts to get on him. Again, maybe a little bit confusing when I talk about it, but I think if you put in the work, you'll be able to understand a little bit more what I'm talking about. Just like how I've talked about Kylian Mbappe and how soccer cards are going to be big, because you could just tell the attention was going to shift at some point. Again, my reasons were, soccer is the biggest sport in the world, most global sport in the world with over 4 billion fans. how are they, so in my head, how are these prices so low for superstar players, right? And then again, in the US, soccer is the fastest growing sport. So from those two things, and the third thing, sports cards in general are growing rapidly. So when you mix all those three things together, you realize that, hey, attention's going to at some point hit these soccer cards and these guys that are playing super well and are superstars. Again, I've talked about Instagram followers before. In the Lionel Messi article, the soccer article, I talk about how Lionel Messi has like 140 million followers, and that's a huge amount of attention. That's going to be it for today, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to be putting a lot more content out, and I have a lot of more cool stuff to come. Again, the Discord is just one of the things that we came out with already, but there's a bunch more to come. And I can't wait to create even more value for you guys. Now, if you have any questions or anything, you can always DM me. Most of you guys know I respond back to every single DM. I take pride in that. I want to make sure I respond back to every single one of you guys. My Instagram page is @4LifeTradingCards. Again, I'll put it below as well. But also, the Discord channel is a great way to communicate. The people who are in the Discord know that I'm always in there and I'm talking and I'm answering questions. I'm not just the guy that's sitting back and just kind of watching it. I'm interacting with you guys because I want to interact. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. I love sports cards. I love talking about sports cards. I see a ton of value in it, and I see a ton of value in bringing it to new people coming in. But anyways, I appreciate you guys listening to episode 24. If you're not following me on Instagram, definitely follow me on there. I appreciate you guys listening to me on Spotify. Definitely go follow me on there. And then if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. Please, please, please. It'll help me out a ton. And also, please subscribe because that's going to help me out a ton as well. So if you want more content, please do those things. I appreciate it, guys. I'll see you guys next time.